Hello, good evening, and welcome to a very special hour-long edition of Cruise at 6. Tonight, we're dedicating the whole of the programme to Fred Olsen Cruise Lines, getting an in-depth look at the ships, the service, and some of the wonderful cruises they have. With that in mind, I'm going to be joined by the Sales and Marketing Director, Nathan Philpott. And apart from finding out about all the inside stories from the new features on some of the ships, we'll also be getting some great offers too from Chris Shepherd. Chris.
Thanks, John. Throughout the show, I'm going to be bringing you some of the best-selling cruises from the Fred Olsen Cruise programme from 2015. We'll have some great saver fares and amazing value freedom fares, where you'll be able to save up to 30%. So stay tuned, and I'll see you later in the show. Back to you, John.
Thanks very much indeed, Chris. Now, if you have any questions you'd like me to put to Nathan during the next hour, there are two very easy ways you can get in touch. You can either text the word cruise, leave a space, and then your question with your name and where you're from, and text it to 60300. Now, your normal text rates apply, or you can email us completely free of charge, studio@visioncruise.co.uk. Not forgetting once again to tell us your name and where you're from, and I'll put your questions to Nathan later in the show. So, let's meet the man himself. Nathan, welcome to Vision Cruise. And you know, it's been such a long time since we've had one of these chats.
It seems a while, doesn't it? It's lovely to be back. Lovely to be back.
So tell me, what's been happening with Fred Olsen since then?
Oh, we've been very busy, very lively. We've had 3 of our 4 ships go into what we call kind of dry dock, into being refitted and refurbished in many ways. We've added coffee shops on all of the 3 ships. So there's kind of these cafes and chocolates that we have on board. Yeah, they are very tempting, very tempting, and they've become very sociable areas. So they're either in the library or by the library, so you can grab a book, grab a coffee, sit around, relax, or just have a chat with some people there. So I think that's made a real difference to actually some of the central parts of the ship, as you know them pretty well, and they really are kind of more of a buzz and a hive of activity in some of these places now, which is good.
They do, they really do. I think they really enhance it as well, because, as you said, it is a really relaxed area, isn't it? And the chocolates are so good. I always say it's a good job there's no calories at sea.
And food, of course, we've added grill restaurants.
Oh. Grill
restaurants on there, which is, again, a lot of customers saying, we want a speciality dining area. We want somewhere else we can actually go, maybe just, a couple or a 4 away from the table occasionally. And so we've added these al fresco sea view dining experiences. The grill restaurant, all of them, and there you've got lobster, you've got seafood, you've got steak, fabulous steaks that are cooked right in front of your eyes. There's the chefs at the grill. You can see it all kind of happening, hear it. You must taste it now, just happening.
Do you know, he's doing this to me deliberately. I've actually eaten at the grill on the Budokan. Absolutely fabulous. The steak, once again, I should say, absolutely wonderful. Now, talking of steaks and foods and all this sort of thing, the enjoyment promise. Now, this is something that, when I saw, I was like blown away by, because I couldn't believe that, someone would have really the nerve to do it. But you've done it. Tell us about the Fred's enjoyment promise.
It's very brave. It was a decision that we made because we are so confident about how good Fred Olsen Cruises are, and we think, well, anybody can say that. Anybody can sit here from many of our competitors and say, yeah, our cruises are better than anybody else's. They're fantastic. But we actually wanted to back up what we were saying. And so Enjoyment Promise, or Fred's Enjoyment Promise, is very, very simple. Get on board for the first time. If you've never tried Fred Olsen, you might have cruised with someone else, but haven't tried us, come on board. If within, a day or 2, you find actually it's not for you, it's not what you expected, then just let us know. We'll drop you off at the next port, we'll arrange for a flight home, and we'll give you your money back.
It's an absolutely incredible offer, that it really is. By the way, for full terms and conditions on that, just go to our website, visioncruise.co.uk. It really is. It's an incredible offer, and I think if you've never cruised before, that to me says try it, because once you've been on a cruise, it's wonderful.
It is, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, to try and we know there are not just thousands, hundreds, there are millions of people out there that we all like to call yet to cruise. They're kind of thought about it, but they haven't quite got to that decision. They're worried about something that actually is probably a myth. They think they're going to get seasickness. Well, very few people actually suffer from seasickness on cruises. They think it's going to be a bit cramped and confined. Well, actually, cruise ships are very spacious. They're worried about clothing. Well, actually, you've got options on dining and what to wear and what not to wear in lots of places. So here's your chance. Give it a go, find out whether you like it or not, and we are, 100% confident that you will love the Fred Olsen Cruise experience. That not only will we not have to give you money back, we think you'll book another one whilst you're on board.
It really is. It's a great experience. I mean, my first time I went on a Fred Olsen cruise, I was just blown away by the level of service. It's the food, the comfortableness. And when I say level of service, I don't think it's a level of service that you get on a land-based holiday. I mean, with your staff, I always say it's not the hardware, it's the software.
Yeah. No, I think the staff do make it very, very special. How do you try and explain that to someone? How do you try and say, actually, what we have on board is amazing, the staff are amazing? Again, anybody can claim that. It's very easy for anyone to sit here and say, yes, they're great, but they genuinely are. I think a lot of our staff come from the Philippines, from Indonesia, from Thailand, and I think people from those countries, anyone who's done a land-based holiday there, know that they want to give you great service. They genuinely comes from the heart. It's not because they're trying to do it for tips or for any other reason. They want to give you, absolutely fantastic service.
And they really deliver. Now, talking of delivering, for January and February, you've got a sale on, basically, isn't it? You've taken 10% off the regular brochure prices, so
yes.
that's taken off your cruise. But it goes further than that, doesn't it? So if I just book one cruise with Fred Olsen, you're going to give me 10% off straight away off that brochure price that was out in December.
Yeah.
But now it goes further, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The 10% is off everything in our programme up to April 2016. So it's not a case of let's select all the really poor selling cruises and discount those. No, it goes across all the ones, all our best selling cruises as well. So you've got 10% across that. But here's the the great thing: if you want to buy a second cruise, then we'll give you 20% off a second cruise. And if you want to buy a third cruise, we'll give you 30% off a third cruise. And where this is very different, because I think most people are used to these deals in the high street, from retailers, and it's normally, the smallest item, you get the biggest discount. Not with us. We will give you the biggest discount off the biggest priced item. So make it easy to understand. They're for cruises for 5 nights or more. So you could take our fantastic Elvis cruise that goes from Harwich, which is going to be a great cruise by itself. But that's 5 nights.
Yeah.
That's in the brochure, I think, around £500. So you'll get that for $450 with your 10% off. The other extreme, if you then want the world cruise, because we include every duration in this, a leading price of £10,000, you're going to get it for £8 grand. You're going to spend £450 to save £2,000. It's it's a fantastic kind of offer. And again, if you maybe buy a 7-night Norway or something, and then save £3,000 off the world cruise. So yeah, there's some. We know a lot of people. There's a huge amount of people in the UK that take more than one cruise, and so you've got between now and April 2016 to fit 3 cruises in and get 10, 20, and 30% off.
I've got 2 birthdays in between. So tempted. Listen, that's great. Now, listen, one of the things that I also like about Fred Olsen Cruise Lines is your local regional cruise line, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because, for a lot of people, it's the trips down to Southampton or, getting on a plane, and it takes hours to get there.
Yeah.
But with Fred Olsen, you're very close to most ports, aren't you?
10 ports. We think 90% of the population is within 90 minutes drive time of one of our ships. So, like everyone else, we do Southampton, but unlike everyone else, we also do, now this always tests me, Dover, Harwich, Tilbury, Newcastle, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Belfast, Liverpool, Avonmouth. I think I managed to get one in. So that's 10 ports around the UK. So one of those has got to be near you. It's really convenient. But the one thing, John, I want to try and get across to people is to think about where they're sailing to, not just the convenience of a local port. For example, Newcastle is geographically a lot closer to Norway. So why would you go south to Southampton to then sail all the way back up north past Newcastle to go to Norway? It doesn't make any sense. And actually, it will cost you something like 3 days cruising and 3 days cruise fare to actually do that. It's, I think, 1.5 days from Southampton to Newcastle. So, why not try and think about where, you are and where you're cruising from to go to. And Liverpool is great for Canada and for Iceland. It's just geographically a lot simpler. So it actually saves you money. Not only is it more convenient, it saves you money to go from the right port to the right destination.
It does. It so does. I say the great thing is, I also think is, with having local connections as well. I cruised this year from Belfast, and there's so many people who were just amazed that they could start their holiday. And that you start your holiday, don't you, the minute you step foot on board.
Absolutely.
It's so easy to get on board as well.
So convenient, all the kind of, again, we talk about it, don't we, about the luggage or lack of luggage restrictions, and just take what you want and just nice, easy taxi ride. You're there, drop off, get on board, and, your holiday starts. Because, whilst we try and emphasise destination a lot in what we do, we think destination is really important, but a lot of cruising is just that experience of being on the ship with fellow kind of passengers and just enjoying being at sea. And that's a lot of people do enjoy that.
All right. Well, I think we're really going to enjoy all the cruises that we're going to be talking about tonight. But to get us underway and give us a taster of some of the Fred Olsen cruises you can go on, here's Chris.
Thanks, John. I've got some Mediterranean deals lined up for you this time around, and the first deal I have is on board the Black Watch. This is a Venice and Adriatic cruise on the 13th of April. It's for 25 nights, sailing in and out of Liverpool. You're going to visit amazing places like Gibraltar, Cartagena, Catania. Then we're on to Venice, where you'll spend overnight on board. You're also going to get to visit Croatia, Dubrovnik, Valletta, Algiers. These are amazing ports of call, and it's available from just $2,599 per person. That's with a 10% saving. Plus, if you book more than one cruise, you'll save up to 30%. The next cruise I've got for you is on board the Braemar. This is a Spanish river and coastal cruising cruise. It's the 18th of April for 14 nights, sailing in and out of Harwich. Again, we've got some beautiful ports of call lined up for you, like Malaga, Alicante, Seville, where you'll spend overnight on board, and Vigo. This one's available from just $1,349 per person. That includes your 10% saving discount, and if you book more than one, you can save up to 30%. That is amazing value for money. Now, don't forget to book or enquire. Just give us a call on 0800 655 6449, or you can always visit our website for more information. Don't forget, Fred Olsen's enjoyment promise applies to all these cruises too, so you've got nothing to lose. Back to you, John.
Thanks very much indeed, Chris. And Chris will be back a little later on with some more offers as well. Don't forget, the number at the bottom of the screen is all you need to book any of these cruises, 0800 655 6449, or bob onto the website visioncruise.co.uk. Now, don't forget, if you've got any questions to ask Nathan while he's here, this is your opportunity. We're live tonight, and all you have to do is either text the word cruise, leave a space, and then your question, along with your name and where you're on, to 60300. The details are on the bottom of the screen there. Or you can email us, studio@visioncruise.co.uk, and we'll put your questions to Nathan a little later on. Now, Nathan, we were just talking there. Chris showed us something about Venice cruise there as well. Now, I mean, this is where you really come into your own, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of doing sailing into Venice, and it's a very special experience to see everybody kind of waving as you go up to St Mark's Square, and it's really special. And I think a lot of people are going to miss out on this experience now, because big ships aren't allowed to go into Venice anymore. They can't go right, into the heart, to the canal, to St Mark's Square. Fortunately, Fred Olsen's smaller ships still can. So if people want the experience of sailing right into the heart of Venice, then below you can see here, we can still do it. We can still take you right in there and get out on deck, see everyone kind of waving at you as you come in, and step off, right into the heart of Venice. That's
absolutely superb, isn't it? I love that. Do you know, that's what I love about the smaller ships. It's the intimacy of it all, isn't it? And a lot of people think because they are smaller ships and there's more intimacy, it doesn't mean you're losing out on facilities, does it?
No, it's something. Actually, space and facilities, in many cases, bizarrely, you can get more. If you look at deck space, for example, because you've got less passengers and less decks, when it comes to open deck space, you actually find you've got more space. You're never going to have a problem finding a sun lounger or even a little quiet corner to hide away in. So there's actually more kind of space there. And even, our smallest ship has got indoor cinema and a tennis court on the top deck. You know, how many cruise ships have that? So, yeah, it's not correct to say that actually kind of smaller ships have less facilities. They don't.
Okay, well, what we'll do now is we're going to talk about one of the great offers that Fred Olsen have that we're going to be looking around on the Balmoral. Now, let's have a look around on the Balmoral first. Now, this is the flagship of the fleet, and my very first Fred Olsen cruise was on the Balmoral, and, you know, I think it holds a little peace in your heart, doesn't it? It really does. I mean, you look around the atrium of the ship, and once again, although it's the flagship of the fleet, it doesn't. It's not like thousands and thousands of people, is it? It's 1,400, something like that.
Yeah, 1,300 on there. Yeah.
And the food. I always say this. You know, if Fred Olsen opened up a restaurant round by where I lived, there would be a Mr. John's table in the corner, because you'd never get me out of there. The food is so wonderful.
It is, and we get so much feedback about how good it is. Really is. You know, the soups especially. People keep saying, "Can you come out with Fred Olsen soup recipe book?" But you know, all of the food that we offer, you know, 5-course a la carte dining. You know, it is very, very special. White linen experience. You know, it's super. All bread there you're seeing, all baked on board daily.
It is incredible. Do you know what? It's hard to describe until you've been on and you've experienced the service again. Now, with the swimming pools, what I love is they're heated. You get in them and it's not sort of freezing cold, is it? You know,
jump straight in, jump straight out. No, you can enjoy
fabulous.
them. Yeah.
Look, the other fitness centre, and with all the good food, you know, you need this, don't you?
You need to try to. It's difficult.
You have to try. You have to make there's the great open deck space. I love the jacuzzis and things like that.
Promenade decks. I like to refer to Fred Olsen ships as real ships. You know, they've got the teak there. They've got the promenade decks. They are real ships. They look like real ships, and I think, you know, we sometimes miss that. And I think some of us, you know, are very emotional about kind of nautical heritage, and it kind of grabs us a little bit in the gut, and we go, yeah, that's a real ship.
The entertainment on board is great as well, isn't it? It's aimed at the British market. I mean, there's the Balmoral Orchestra, and when was the last time you had the chance to do ballroom dancing to a live orchestra?
Yeah,
it's
a lot. We hear that a lot. People just don't get a chance to dance anymore, except at weddings, you know, and now you can get to kind of do that. We've got dance hosts that can help you out as well. You know, if you are a single traveller, then don't worry. We've got dance hosts that will dance the night away with you.
It really is incredible. This is the Observatory Lounge. Once again, of a day, it's lovely to just relax in, and then of an evening, you know, cheeky cocktail before evening meal. Well, you know, you're on holiday, why not? And there's facilities around the ship as well. You know, a lot of people think because, you know, you're at sea, you'll be cut off, but you know, there's the internet, isn't there? And this is the library. Now, this is where they built the coffee shop in now, haven't they?
That's right. We've just got the coffee shop just by there, and you know, the things like the internet room obviously doesn't get used so much now. Most people are turning up with their iPads and just kind of getting online and using those.
Yeah, it really is wonderful. So this is the Balmoral. Now, the cruise we're looking at on this one is it's an exotic Far East Explorer. It's going on the 14th of February for 18 nights. Now, it really is wonderful. We're going to start off by flying you from London to Kuala Lumpur. And that is where we're going to start. And Kuala Lumpur, what a place to start your holiday as well. It's just wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's often referred to as the crossroads of Asia. There's a whole melting pot, you know, mixture of different cultures, but also a strong British influence as well. I've actually played cricket in Kuala Lumpur, believe it or not, and there's an old green square and things right in the centre. It's amazing when you go around the city, and obviously you see there in the shot there, the Petronas Towers, amazing kind of views. And
yeah, I actually saw a documentary of them building that bridge across the two towers. It's absolutely fascinating to watch. We're going to then cruise out of Kuala Lumpur, and our next port of call is Semarang in Indonesia. A lot of your staff come from this area as well, don't they? So it's very much home for them.
In Indonesia, and I think we've also got on this cruise the Cebu in the Philippines, which is always an incredibly popular port of call because a lot of the crew have got family that are from there, so they will tend to try and find time to move on and do that.
And then next we're off to Komodo Island as well, which is, you know...
I was on this, I joined Balmoral on an Asia part of the World Cruise a couple of years ago. And some people had just got off from seeing Komodo Island and the Komodo dragons, which are obviously the largest kind of lizards in the world. People were just raving about it. They just could not stop talking about Komodo. Very, very special.
And then we move from there to Padang and then on to Cebu, which you were talking about earlier on in the Philippines. Once again, a lot of your staff are from this part of the world as well.
A lot of staff are from there, and it's actually a very, very beautiful part of the world. Again, a different mix of old and new that's in the Philippines, but it always makes a lot of them smile. They smile all the time, as you know, but when they see that Cebu's on an itinerary, you'll see a lot of our staff very excited.
From there, we cruise on then to Okinawa in Japan. I mean, this is just mind-blowing, isn't it? It really is a wonderful place.
Stunning kind of beaches, coastline, Okinawa. I spoke to the Japanese tourist board about it, a couple of years ago, saying, it looks like the Maldives. It's the best way I can kind of describe Okinawa and the Raikuku Islands or the Ryukyu Islands that we sail through. Quite stunning tropical islands, and you just have to see it, and that's what cruising is about, and able to take you to places like this that you just wouldn't be able to do on a land-based holiday. Yeah,
and then we go to Tokyo, and that's where we're going to fly you back to London. Now, if you want to get on board with that, you can see the price there. It's just £2,249. All you have to do is call the number on the bottom of the screen. Now, can I just tell you, there is limited availability on this right now. You must book this by next Monday so we can arrange all your visas and your flights and everything like that. So if you want to get in touch with us right now, the number's on the bottom of the screen. So 800 655 6449. Should we have a look at the details on full screen so you can make a note of them as well? It's the Exotic Far East Explorer. Can you believe this? It's absolutely wonderful, isn't it? Came on the 14th of February. Now that's a romantic gesture.
It is.
That would be a romantic gesture, wouldn't it? And then there's all those wonderful nights of cruising, wonderful places, so different places to go and see as well.
But, as you say, don't leave it till February because it will be too late. Because we have to organise your visa for you. We have to do the flight. So you really need to book that now. Don't wait.
Just give our girls and boys a call downstairs. They're live now, waiting for your call. 0800 655 6449, and they'll get in touch with you and get all the details over there for you as well. If you've got any questions, there's no such thing as a silly question, by the way. If you've never been on a cruise before, I tell you what, you're missing out. The only thing, do you know what? The only regret you'll get when you get on a cruise ship is that you didn't do it before. Yeah. And that was my only regret. I
think places like that, especially with Tokyo, it's something you're probably a bit nervous if you wanted to do it on your own, do a fly in a hotel, but do it amongst, guides and fellow kind of passengers, and you feel a lot more comfortable. And actually, Tokyo is a great place. I've had the chance to go there a couple of times, and amazing culture. What a fantastic culture. Very different to any place I've really experienced before. The people and the way they kind of run their lives and things. Very interesting.
It's a great cruise, isn't it? Absolutely wonderful cruise. Now, if you want to get involved, give us a call, 0800 655 6449. While you think about that, here's Chris to tempt you with some more cruises.
Thanks, John. This time I've got the Baltics in summer and the Canaries at Christmas. I'll start with the Baltics in summer for you. We're on board the Balmoral, and this is the Scandinavia and St. Petersburg cruise. It's on the 1st of September for 13 nights. You'll sail in and out of Southampton, you'll visit Tallinn, St. Petersburg where you'll spend overnight on board. You've got Helsinki in there, Warnemünde for Berlin and Copenhagen. And this is available from just £1,259 per person. Again, that includes that 10% saving, and if you book more than one cruise, you can save yourself up to 30%. The next cruise that I've got lined up for you is going to be on board the Blackwatch. This is the Canary Islands at Christmas, and it's the 20th of December for 16 nights. This one's sailing in and out of Liverpool. You're going to visit places like Cadiz, Fuerteventura, La Gomera, Gran Canaria, Tenerife, La Palma. You'll spend overnight in Madeira on New Year's Eve before cruising back into Liverpool, and we've got a price of just £1,839 per person. That is amazing value for money. Again, that includes that 10% that we've been talking about tonight. But if you book more than one, remember, you'll save yourself up to 30% on your 3 booked Fred Olsen cruises. So to book or inquire about these cruises, give us a call on 0800 655 6449. Or you can always visit our website for more information. Now remember, if you don't see the Fred Olsen cruise that you're looking for here, we've got plenty more. Just give us a call. We'd love to discuss them with you. Back to you, John.
Thanks very much indeed, Chris. Welcome along if you have just joined us. It's a very special cruise at 6 tonight. We're featuring in on Fred Olsen Cruise Lines, and we've got Nathan Philpott, their Sales and Marketing Director, with us tonight. Now then, we're moving on to our second feature cruise now on the Blackwatch, which is a wonderful ship. I mean, the Blackwatch, once again, really intimate cruising, isn't it? It's lovely.
I was on her a couple of weeks ago, and it'd been a while, and I she wowed me again. I talked about real ships earlier, and I think Black Watch is the archetypal real ship. You know, you get the real kind of mahogany decks, and you know, I talked about the indoor cinema that's there and different things, but it just feels like a ship. It's a wonderful experience.
You know, they do this to me every night. Every night, 6 o'clock, and I get this thrown
You
at
need
me.
to eat before you come and do this show.
I do. Sitting here starving, knowing I won't get anything like that tonight. Listen, these are the sort of facilities that you go. You know, the bar staff are incredible. We were talking earlier on about how they get to know you so well. You know, once you've sat down and you've ordered a meal, and you say, "I like my steak medium rare or well done" or what have you, they never ask you again. They know.
They know.
And then,
same with your drink.
They know what you drink. It's just incredible, the level of service. It really is. It's not until you've been, and then of course you've got all this pampering if you want it as well.
Remembering that I was saying to you, I think off air, John, just about someone who'd been on there for one night and came back on board, and someone recognised him, his name, and you know, it just wowed. So I'm on cruise with you for one night for a party cruise, and one of your staff remembers me. Absolutely wowed by it.
He must have had a heck of a party. Once again, it's British entertainment, isn't it? So you get British comedians and that type of thing. It's the whole thing's aimed at the British cruise market.
It is all announcements in one language, which I know annoys some English cruise guests who've been on board. They get 4 languages for every announcement, and maybe English is the last one, and you don't know. You know, it can be quite irritating for some people. I know. Well, 95% of people on board a Fred Olsen ship are from the UK, and our language is English.
Afternoon tea.
Traditional English afternoon tea. In terms of our menus cater for English tastes. There's always a very British menu option every time. Yeah, we do.
We always debate how many of those finger sandwiches it is polite to eat.
Before asking for another one.
It is. Once again, absolutely comfortable accommodation again, wonderful accommodation. You're really going to love this. Now, this is one of Fred Olsen's unusual cruises because they do some really great cruises. This is the Cities and Landscapes of Canada. It's going on the 22nd of May, so it's not that far away, for 28 nights. It's 4 weeks away from it all, and it goes from Liverpool. So cruise out of Liverpool. Our first port of call there is going to be Ponta de la Garda in the Azores. Then we're off to Sydney, no, not Australia, Canada, and then on to Charlestown, and that's once again in Canada, absolutely lovely. And then we're into Gasp. This is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? I mean, I love these Canadian cruises.
It's just such a mix of we call it cities and landscapes. I mean, for very good reason. You can see some stunning kind of, both landscapes, but wildlife, and then you get into city and metropolitan kind of districts. So it's such a mix, and different cultures, of course. The British, the French, and things that are there.
Well, this is obviously the French-speaking part of Canada, because our next port of call is Trois-Rivières, and then we move on to Montreal. I mean, it's wonderful.
Montreal does. Obviously, it hosts the Olympics, and they've got some Olympic sites there. But they did a wonderful thing with the velodrome in Montreal. They kind of turned it into this biodome and things like that. So yeah. It's really impressive, really impressive.
And then we're off to Quebec, and we're going to overnight in Quebec as well, so you get 2 full days in Quebec as well.
Montreal, you get a late night. Quebec, you get an overnight. Again, we've asked our guests, and they've said that's what they want, so that's what we want to give them. Ability to see the city at night when it all lights up, go to a jazz club, go to a casino, do whatever you want to do in the evening. We're happy for you to go and explore the cities. We don't want you on the ship all the time when you could be out, getting yourself immersed in the destination.
I mean, I've been on a couple of Fred Olsen cruises where we have stopped overnight. It's such a different experience, isn't it? Lovely. So then we're going to cruise on from Quebec, where we're going overnight, to Saguenay, which is, once again, it's the wildlife out here, isn't it, as well?
And what is amazing here is, Quebec is actually in our top 10 cruises rated by our guests, and here is in our top 20. So, this is actually, I think, the 3rd highest rated port in North America. And most people go, well, where's that? What's that? But our Fred Olsen guests are telling us this is absolutely fantastic. I haven't had the opportunity to see it myself yet, but everyone says it's absolutely wonderful.
Well, from there we cruise on to Havre Saint-Pierre, and then on to Corner Brook, which is once again an absolutely spectacular cruise destination, isn't it?
Again, we're getting such a different mix of the landscapes and the wildlife and the cities and everything else. And I think that's what Canada does for us. It's absolutely beautiful, beautiful place.
And then we're off to St John's in Newfoundland before we cruise back into Liverpool.
The British part.
This is 28 nights away. Can you believe this? 28 nights away. Now, the brochure fare for this, if you'd looked in December, was £3,279. But of course, remember, we're saving you 10% straight away. So the fare now is just £2,949. But remember, if you book another 5 nights or more cruise with Fred Olsen at the same time, you're going to get another 10% off. And if you book another one, you're going to get another 10%. So, you know, you could be saving up to 30% off the brochure price on this cruise. It's incredible, especially when you see what's involved. The level of service and the food that we've already gone on about. Until you've experienced it, you really won't believe it. I'll tell you what, should we have a look at the details on this one, if we can? And here's the full details. It's the cities and landscapes of Canada. It's a really lovely idea. It's a month away as well, isn't it? So you get the whole level of service. You know, you'll fall into the trap of not wanting to come home.
Yeah. Well, my finance director won't like me saying this, but you know, buy that 5-nighter, buy a 7-nighter, and as you say, you're going to save nearly £1,000 on that cruise. I mean, you know, I'm not going to be a happy man when I get back to the office tomorrow, but you know, that's the kind of savings you can make.
It really is lovely, isn't it? So £2,949 if you want to get involved in that. 0800 655 6449, 0800 655 6449. All you have to do is dial that number. Remember, we're here and we're open till 10:30 tonight. 10:30 every weekday, and we're open again from 6 o'clock in the morning. We really like to keep our staff awake, don't we? Let them work. I'll tell you what, while we've got Nathan here as well, let's talk about some of the other cruises that are available. The Norwegian fjords, I mean, say, Fred Olsen are synonymous with the Norwegian fjords. Why should people cruise with Fred Olsen on a Norwegian cruise?
I'll be bold to say, because we do it better than anybody else. And I really believe that, and I mean that. We really go into the fjords, we sail the fjords. It isn't just the Norwegian coastal kind of parts that we're doing. And I'll give you an example. For me, there are two really iconic sites in Norway. I think there's Pulpit Rock, which, as anybody's seen, is kind of the cliff overlooking. Normally you see it from an aerial view where lots of people are sitting on the top overlooking the fjord, which is amazing. And then there's what I call kind of, you know, a rock in a hard place, which is the Karag kind of boulder, which is like suspended between two cliffs, about 1,000 meters in the air, and you see a lot of people just with a shot standing on that, kind of looking over pretty nervously. Now, they're two really iconic things, and to be able to go and see those, you need to go up Lysefjord, and that has a 50-meter air draft, which means basically if your ship is taller than 50 meters, you can't go down Lysefjord, and you cannot see those two iconic images, which I think is what Norwegian fjord cruising is all about. We can do that. And I think that's why we do it better than anybody else. There are other fjords like Narrowfjord, which is only 500 metres wide at its narrowest point. And again, a lot of the big ships just can't do that. And that's, you know, I think National Geographic rated it as the #1 kind of site in the world. These are amazing places that we as Fred Olsen Cruise Lines can take you to, but some other big ships just can't do that. So that's why we do Norway, I believe, better than anybody else.
There's another sector of cruising that you've got into now, and that is river cruising. And, you know, when you think of river cruising, you normally think of, you know, like the barge type boat.
Yeah,
But this is river cruising on a cruise ship, a full-blown cruise ship, isn't it? You know, tell us a bit about this.
Yeah, so it's no flying involved. You've got all the facilities of a cruise ship. So you've got all the choice of restaurants, the cafes, the dining, the entertainment that you don't have on a smaller riverboat. But actually on Braemar, because it's got a shallow draft, as we call it, it means it can actually sail up rivers. So, you know, we've got the Garonne River, which, you know, you can sail 50 miles up to Bordeaux, which is just, you know, amazing. We can do Rouen, which others can. There are the Loire, we can sail up to Nantes.
These are just amazing shots, aren't they? You know, and this is on a cruise ship.
This is on a cruise ship going up a French river, and I think, you know, Braemar does this wonderfully well. And again, that whole experience of seeing these villages and people waving at you who are just not used to seeing such an impressive kind of cruise ship come by. I mean, it's not just in France we're doing German waterways. I think you saw earlier the Spanish River, I can never pronounce this, the Guadalquivir, that goes 95 miles we sail up that river to Seville. And again, all the other ships, they can't do it. They have to stop at the coast and then bus you in an hour and a half to get to Seville. We will actually allow you to kind of just sail that river and have the whole kind of experience. So, yeah, it's something that's really popular with a lot of guests at the moment, and something that I think will continue for the next few years.
Well, that's incredible. What we'll do next then is we'll tempt you again with some more cruises. So here's Chris. Chris.
Thanks, John. Now, I've got a couple of unique cruises for you here. Do you like Elvis? Why not celebrate his 80th birthday with us? Fred Olsen on board the Braemar, the Elvis at 80 cruise. This is the 13th of April for 5 nights, sailing in and out of Harwich. You're going to cruise over to Denmark, where you'll spend overnight on board the ship and then cruise back into Harwich. Now, of course, this is all about Elvis, and it's such an amazing and unique itinerary. It's something you're not going to want to miss out on. It's just $519 per person. That is all including that saving of 10%. Why not give us a call on 0800 655 6449 and we'll discuss it in a lot more detail for you. The next cruise we've got is the Boudicca. This is the African Escapade and Easter Parade. It's on the 24th of March for 14 nights. You'll sail in and out of Southampton. Again, we've got beautiful ports to call like Casablanca, how romantic. We're up onto Melilla, the Spanish, Moroccan Algiers, Cartagena and Malaga before cruising into Lisbon, and this is available from just $1079 per person. Again, that's including that 10% that we've been talking about oh so much tonight, so don't miss out, because we don't want you to miss out. Now, to book this or enquire, give us a call on 0800 655 6449. Or you can always visit our website for more information. But if you've got your eye on another cruise, why not give us a call on 0800 655 6449. Remember, you can save up to 30% if you're booking 3 Fred Olsen cruises at a time. Give us a call, you know what to do.
Thanks very much indeed, Chris. We certainly do know what to do. We're going to be talking now about another great cruise. This is a great one. It's on board the Boudicca, which, as I said, I was on earlier on this year. It's last year now. It's last year. I haven't been on a Fred Olsen cruise this year.
Here we are.
There's something gone wrong. No, but once again, it's a lovely ship, isn't it? The Boudicca. For me, I just feel it's like going home. If only I lived in a place like that.
That is the feel. I think. The magic of Fred Olsen, I think, you don't get until you do the second cruise. I often try and explain that to someone. Say, well, get on there for the first time, yes, and you'll love it. I know you will. But actually, you won't really discover what Fred Olsen is about until you do the second cruise, because that's when we're coming into our own. When people remember you, remember your face, remember your drink, and you're actually quite amazed. It could be a year later, and suddenly people say, welcome back. This
is typical, isn't it? It really is.
5 meals a day.
I do bang on about the food. Can I just tell you, and I'll be really honest with you, the best steak I've ever had in my life, and do I look like a man who has not a steak or two, was on board this very ship, on board the Boudicca. Absolutely wonderful. And I was on board, as I say, earlier on this year, and I was going into the restaurant, and someone was coming out and said, John, I've just had the steak. You were right.
Oh, it's lovely to hear. Lovely to hear.
It really is absolutely stunningly lovely. And then, as I said, there's a great entertainment that, and it's every night. And the thing is, this is all included in the price, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I always think is, if you went away on a normal land-based holiday, if you were to have a 5-course gourmet white linen evening meal every evening, if you were to have, go to a show every night,
breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea, evening buffet at midnight. Or,
how much would it all cost you? It's all adding up. And you just to get, here we go. Now, the scones again. We were debating, are they scones or scones? And we've decided that before you eat them, they're a scone, and when you've eaten them, they're scone. Yes. So we've sort of sorted that one out. Now, this is a lovely cruise. So retail opportunities on board as well, by the way. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a cruise going on the 5th of January around Africa and the Indian for 79 nights. Wow. It's next year, so, and actually it's going in just it's the 5th, but a month ago, a year ago, 2 days ago. Incredible. 79 nights. It's cruising out of Southampton. Our first port of call is Leixões for Porto in Portugal. And I was there earlier on this year. Well, it was last year, wasn't it? Last year. It's absolutely lovely. Love that. Then we're off to Madeira, the Garden Island, then Tenerife, which is lovely. This is where the weather's starting to get really nice now. Everyone else is freezing. And then we're into Mindolo in Cape Verde before we get to Banjul. And Banjul, once again, absolutely stunningly beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, very, very British. The Gambia, very British experience. But there's I think the real heart of this cruise, I think, is when you get really down to Southern Africa and around to the Indian Ocean. I think that's when it really becomes.
Well, next we're into Luanda, and then to Weavis Bay, then to London, and then we're into Cape Town. I mean, when we get to Cape Town, we're going to be for 2 nights in Port. So that's like 3 days.
I think it's. Is it 3? Yeah, 3 days, 2 nights. Yeah,
3 days, 2 nights.
What? And there's something very special here. I need to mention about what you can do in Cape Town. There is so much you can do. There is the winelands, the garden route, everything else. But I don't know if you've heard of the Rovos rail. You know, the luxury rail with the kind of wooden panelling, or whatever. We can actually give you the opportunity to take 5 days on that. So you can actually leave from Cape Town. You can take that. And go across and then rejoin the ship in Durban. It's obviously there's a cost to that on top of the cruise, but if you've never done that before, there's an opportunity to do something like that. There are amazing things you can do from Cape Town. There is so much going on there.
And of course, it's just an iconic place, isn't it? Just an iconic place. We're going to go from Cape Town then to Port Elizabeth, and then actually to Durban, Richards Bay, then we're off to Mozambique, Port Reunion, and then to Mauritius, Madagascar, and then to Zanzibar. I mean, Zanzibar, all these places are just truly mind-blowing,
For me, this is kind of, work out which is the best beach in the world here. I mean, we're starting with saying Richards Bay, and then, as you say, you've got Mozambique, you've got Madagascar, you're going to Zanzibar. I mean, this really is going to be a test for someone to come back to me and tell me which one of these beaches is the best in the world, because we don't just stop at Zanzibar. You know, the next ones on here are incredible. Yeah. There is no better way to see the Indian Ocean than by cruising.
Well, we're off to Mombasa, and then we're off to the Seychelles. We're going overnight in Port, and then to Preslin Island, and we're off to Oman, then Akiba, then.
Seychelles, Mauritius, Zanzibar.
It's just incredible, isn't it?
Oh.
And then Akiba, where we're going to overnight in Port as well. So, once again, a really interesting part of the world, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you've got you always try and discover Petra, and kind of do the lost city at Petra there is fantastic on the way back after you've had all your beach time. Now do a bit of culture. Well,
and then of course there's the beach where all the rich and famous sort of go off to now in the winter in Egypt, Sharm el Sheikh, which is it's absolutely wonderful. Sharm el Sheikh, the Red Sea.
There is Red Sea. The diving you can do there. As you say, there's some fabulous luxury hotels that are there as well. I think,
Yeah, it really is absolutely gorgeous. Then we're off to Port Said. We'll get overnight in Port, to Crete, Heraklion, Valletta in Malta, Algiers in Algeria, Cadiz in Spain, and then back into Southampton. It's an absolutely incredible cruise. Remember, you're away for 79 nights. 79 nights. And that's the price there. £7,999. Well, it was £7,999. We've taken 10% off. So it was that. It's now 7,199. 7,1. And remember, if you book that 5-night cruise.
Don't go telling them again, John.
You get another 10%.
I'm going to get really told off for this. My FD won't be happy.
Do you see what I'm saying?
It's actually cheaper to
book that one and don't even have to go on it.
Well, you'll love it. You'll love it.
You'll love it, you will. So if you want to get involved in this one, the telephone number's on the bottom there. 0800 655 6449. If you've got any questions, there's no such thing as a silly question. You will have questions about this cruise. You really will. 0800 655 6449. Give us a call. That's all I say. Give us a call. We're standing by for your phone calls right now. It really is a lovely cruise, this one. And let's have a look at the details, shall we, on the screen. Here's the details. It's around Africa and the Indian Ocean. I mean, it's going on the 5th of January next year. So this time next year, where would you be? You'd be around about the Canary Islands by now, wouldn't you, really?
Yeah.
You'd be heading off that way.
I mean, imagine trying to do that with flights and hotels, go to all of those Indian Ocean islands and coastline. It would cost you a fortune.
And all the overnight, it's the overnights as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, how much would it cost you to stay for 3 nights in Cape Town in a really good hotel with all the food included? Do you know what I mean? It's all these places, everything.
Check out the cost of a flight to Mauritius and the Seychelles,
It
and
is.
then you'll realise what great value this
It
cruise
is, and that's when you start getting the great value. It really is absolutely superb value for money. Okay, we've been getting lots of your questions in as well. So what we'll do is I'll fire a couple of questions that we've had in for to Nathan now. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch as well, you can text the word cruise, leave a space, and then your message. Tell us your name and where you're from as well, and to 60300, your standard network rate supply. You can also email us at studio@visioncruise.co.uk. First of all, from Stephen Collier from Cali in West Yorkshire, do Fred Olsen offer any anytime dining?
Do you offer any time dining? Yes and no. We have set dining in the main restaurants, but we also have the Palms Cafe on most of the ships and the Garden Cafe, which allows you to kind of go in at any time, casual. You don't have to get particularly formally dressed up, so you can go in there and do that whenever you want. And of course, there's the new grill restaurants. You can book one of those and just go in whenever you want to. So yes and no.
Yeah. Okay. Then there's Mary from Doncaster. How much luggage can you take when you sail from Southampton?
So not just Southampton, but any other 9 ports we go from. Take as pretty much as much as you can possibly carry, really, and as much space as you can fit in your cabin. So. Yeah, if there's an awful lot of shoes required for the wife, then you can take them. Yeah, it's not like an airline. We don't really have a limit. Yeah, as long as we can, get it on board.
Okay, shall we have a look at our next cruise now? We're going on the Blackwatch now. Blackwatch is a lovely ship again. This is from Peru to Southampton. Absolutely lovely. Let's have a look at some of the footage here that we've got on the dining. Well, why are they showing me?
They won't stop. They won't stop.
This is the dining experiences that you can see. Look at the steaks. They are absolutely wonderful. It's the whole experience of the dining, isn't it? And the buffets. They do a gala buffet every so often on board, don't they? Those gala buffets are stunningly beautiful.
And normally they do the midnight buffet as well, don't they? Yeah, we see it here.
Yeah.
And that's the one to go and see at the end of the evening after the show. Just the chefs just are amazing what they can create. It's very artistic. Go and have a look at that.
It is. And then, of course, there's the comfortable accommodation, isn't it? I mean, that's, it really is well looked after. We'll come back and tell you a bit more about the accommodation as well, because it really is. It's worth noting about some of the facilities in there. There's televisions in there, and yet they've got the news channel, so you can keep up to date with what's happening back home if you want to. It's there for you as well. Now, this particular cruise is a cruise from Peru to Southampton, and what a lovely cruise this would be as well. Now, we're talking of the 19th of February now, so that is not far away. It's next month, and this is a 25-night cruise. Go on. Go and get the cases from the loft. I know you want to do this. We're going to fly out from Heathrow to Cayo, which is where we're going to overnight in port as well. So you get the full day there, and then we're off to Manta in Ecuador before we go through the Panama Canal. Now, the Panama Canal has got to be seen to be believed. A lot of people will do this cruise just to go through the Panama Canal. And then we're off to Colón in Panama as well. Now, I say, you've just been through the Panama Canal, and that's like one of the wonders of the world, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we deliberately take quite a long time to get through it because it is such a magnificent feat of engineering. People just want to soak it all up.
Yeah.
It's something you're probably only going to do once or twice in your life.
Well, a lot of my friends, have done it, and it's because they just want to do that. Then we're off to Colón as well. We're overnighting in Colón, so we've got like 2 full days there. But then we're off to Cartagena de Indias as well, an absolutely lovely place as
Colombia,
well.
Yeah.
It really is lovely. That you're really going to enjoy. It really is. And then we're off to Willemstad. This is Curacao.
Dutch Caribbean.
Yeah. Do you know what surprised me when I first got there was you get there and it just feels like
it does.
It's very Dutch, isn't it? And as you get off, there's
one that's very British.
Barbados. Whoa, we're going to Barbados.
My favourite Caribbean island.
You say Barbados and you just smile, don't you?
Yeah.
You really do. And then we're off to St Lucia, St John's in Antigua. Absolutely gorgeous, these places. They really are. And that you really are going to love. And then, as I say, St Lucia is It used to be like the rich and famous. They're the only people who used to be able to go. But now,
probably the luscious, greenest kind of island. They call it the Garden of the Caribbean. I think it's very beautiful just to go around there. Obviously, the two pitons are the famous kind of bit to look at. But again, sailing is great there. Very, very beautiful island. And something I need to mention about Black Watch, actually, when you see all these beautiful places, something we did in Refit, we've added more kind of what we call balcony terrace cabins now.
Yeah.
So one thing that people often found with Black Watch is not finding enough kind of balconies, but you can actually get these terraces which are on the promenade deck, raised above the promenade deck, that actually give you your own space, but allow you to soak up all of this kind of
The
Caribbean and everything else that's there.
And then from St. Lucia, we're off to Antigua, which, you know, that phone box. To make a call from that phone box. Absolutely, the beaches here. And remember, this is a time of year that, you know, it's freezing here, isn't it? You know, we're going to be scraping ice off the car.
I love to go across the other side of the island to Nelson's Dockyard and English Harbour, the beautiful marina and the sailing ships and the history that's there in Antigua. Obviously, Nelson, I think, met his wife there and lived there for a while. Amazing.
And then we cruise back across the Atlantic, stopping off at Ponta de la Garda before we cruise you back into Southampton. It's a lovely, isn't it? What are you doing next month? What would you prefer to do? Look at this. It's limited availability right now, real limited availability. If you want to get in touch, look, £2,299 for all that. You know, if you were to fly out and do it, you know, how much is the flight alone? Do you know? You know the costs involved in these sort of things, and it's all laid on for you. It's going to be wonderful. 0800 655 6449. Remember, no such thing as a silly question. If you've got any questions at all, just give us a call. That's all we ask. Give us a call. We'll answer your questions for you. £2,299, and you could be on board enjoying all that. And you've heard about the food, the entertainment. It's all there laid on for you. You're going to love it. Let's have a look at the details on full screen, shall we? This is absolutely stunning. Peru to Southampton. I mean, it sounds like Paddington Bear, doesn't it?
It is Paddington country. I may well be doing this one myself, John.
You see.
Yeah.
Do you need anyone to carry your luggage?
Yeah. Peru, Ecuador, Colombia and the Caribbean. I'll have some of that.
It does. It sounds absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? Do you know, I am loving that. I'm loving that one. I really am. We're getting some absolutely gorgeous cruises here. Don't forget, by the way, this is just one of many Fred Olsen cruises that you can be getting yourself on, by the way. If you want any other Fred Olsen cruise, just give us a call as well. 0800 655 6449, or go to the website, as always, visioncruise.co.uk, visioncruise.co.uk. Couldn't be simpler than that, really, could it? Okay, coming up in a few moments' time, I'm going to be asking Nathan. We've been bombarded with questions. I'm going to tell you that now. So be prepared to answer a lot of questions.
I'm ready.
If you've emailed or texted your question in, we're going to be asking those in a few moments' time. But in the meantime, let's rejoin Chris for some more tempting offers.
Thanks, John. Have you cruised before? Maybe you have, but you've never cruised with Fred Olsen. Here are some great cruises for you. First, we've got the Braemar, the Seductive Spain and the Algarve cruise. It's the 2nd of September for 10 nights. You'll sail in and out of Dover on this one, visit Avilés, La Coruña, Portimao, Lisbon and Vigo. And this is available from just $8.99 per person. That is amazing value for money. We've included again that 10% discount for you. And again, as I've been saying all night, if you book more than one, you can save yourself up to 30%. Give us a call, 0800 655 6449. The next cruise we've got for you is on board the Balmoral. This is a Scandinavia cruise on the 9th of June for 11 nights. Sailing in and out of Southampton, you'll visit Oslo, where you'll spend overnight in port, which is very rare. A great unique itinerary there. Then we're off onto Gothenburg, Helsingborg, and then Copenhagen, where you'll spend overnight, and then off into Skagen before arriving into Kristiansand and back into Southampton. Just $1079 per person. Again, amazing value for money. Give us a call on 0800 655 6449. And my final cruise of the night is on board the Boudica. This is the Azores and Canary Islands and Madeira cruise on the 20th of September for 16 nights. Sailing in and out of Newcastle, you'll visit Praia de Vitoria, Ponta Delgada, Madeira, Tenerife, Lanzarote and Lisbon. This is available from just $1339 per person. That is amazing value for money. Again, that's including that 10% saving. We do have up to 30% worth of savings for you to take advantage of. All you need to do is give us a call. Now, don't forget, all these cruises plus many more are all available on our website. Back to you, John and Nathan.
Thanks very much indeed, Chris. And thanks for being there and giving us all those offers. By the way, if you've been tempted by any of the offers, remember we're open till 10:30 tonight. 0800 655 6449, and we're open again from 6 a.m. in the morning here at Vision Cruise, as we are every single weekday. OK, then I've got Nathan Philpott with me, who's from Fred Olsen Cruises. And listen, our lines have been absolutely crazy busy with all the questions coming in. First of all, Pat Donner's asked a question. What age group do Fred Olsen aim their cruises at?
It depends on time of year and duration. So a lot of our mini cruises and shorter cruises, like that 5-night Elvis cruise from Harwich we've been talking about, can be in their 30s, 40s and 50s. Longer duration cruises and ones out of school holiday time, if you think, will tend to attract an older audience. Something it's like the World Cruise, you're pretty much got to be retired to do that, unless you're in a very fortunate position. So you'll probably be in your 60s and 70s to do that one. So it depends on duration and time of year.
A question that a lot of people do ask is, do you take children on board?
We do, yeah. A lot of people don't think we do, but we tend to do things in the shorter school holiday period for kids. But a lot of the time, people don't actually prefer travelling Fred Olsen because there aren't so many kids on board. And a couple of cruises we do are adults only, like our Arctic cruise from Newcastle. But yeah, you don't tend to get so many kids, but key parts in the year, you can get a whole load of children on board. And
I've been on the Balmoral. That's a great one for the kids as well, isn't it? This is Gemma from Kettering. Are there tea and coffee making facilities in the cabins?
Yes, there are tea and coffee facilities in the cabins, and there's complimentary tea and coffee in areas of the ship all hours of the day. But I'd encourage you to go to the cafe and buy one, because I think it's a lot better, and you might get some of those chocolates as well.
This is Helen from Ireland. She said, I've noticed you offer more overnights in some ports. Am I able to get off, enjoy evening entertainment, and then get back on board?
Yeah, that's the whole point of them, Helen. That's what we want to do. We really want to encourage people to do that. A lot of cruise lines, will arrive at 10, leave at 4, and try and get you back on board and prefer you spending on board the ship. That's not what we're about. We want people to discover destinations and see them at their best. So please get on board, have dinner in some of these cities, go to entertainment in some of these cities, and then come and join the ship. As long as you're back on board before we depart. But there's always something that tells you as you go down as you leave the ship, there'll always be the timing to get back on board. So yeah.
I remember we did an overnight in one of the
Stockholm.
In Stockholm,
yeah.
And we did. I remember doing a ghost tour,
yes,
which was so much fun.
So different to see the old town at night, and it was pretty scary. Just wondering, eerie, but so different to the day. And I think there are places like Amsterdam and Hamburg and Paris where we deliberately try and do overnights to give people, see the neon electric nights, soak up the atmosphere, go to some places. You want to go to the Moulin Rouge or something in Paris, then go do it. We really try and encourage people to do that.
That's great, really is. Then we're Stella from Northampton. We've never taken a cruise before. Can you tell us what to expect on board?
On board, yeah, you're gonna meet a lot of like-minded people. You'll be very, very friendly, very welcoming, both staff. But I think you immediately, within hours, just feel part of it. I would say it's not sure where Stella's from, but it's a bit like going to your local pub. It's kind of going down to your local pub and you feel very comfortable in it, rather than maybe somewhere in a city where there's a lot of strangers. It's very, very welcoming on board.
Do you know what I like about it as well is at the end of the evening, you just wander back to your cabin.
Yeah.
You're not having to wait for a cab. It's not who's designated driver.
Absolutely.
It's just a whole relaxed atmosphere.
And you've got that whole choice of things to do on board. There's honestly so many activities, day and evening. Again, a lot of people think they're going to get bored on board a ship. You will not get bored on a cruise ship. It won't happen. And a lot of people actually love sea days just to explore the ship and enjoy the ship.
Do you know, it's strange. Before I ever went on a cruise, I always thought, I'm going to be bored. There won't be enough to do. I'm going to be stuck with people who don't like. But it's just not like that, is it?
Yeah.
You've got to. You have to experience it, don't you?
Definitely. And as I say, do it once. I think you'll do it twice, and it's the second one that you'll really notice the difference with us.
Yeah. I always remember my friend Eric said to me when he went on his first cruise, John, this is the most expensive holiday I've ever been on. It better be good. And you think, oh. But he came back and he said, John, do you know what? It was the best value holiday I've ever had in my life. I don't know how they did it for the money. And that's the sort of thing it is, isn't it? It really is. Now, listen, I can't believe that time has already beat us. And, you know, the hour's just flown by. We could start sitting and chat all night. Can we cancel all the programmes? No, we can't. Listen, thanks very much for being with us. Nathan, thanks very much for coming to see us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for
really
having me on the show.
Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with us, 0800 655 6449. There's no such thing as a silly question. And when it comes to Fred Olsen Cruises, I think you're going to love them. You really will. So thanks very much for watching. And for me, John Cooper, remember, carry on cruising. See you.
You've been watching a commercial presentation on behalf of Vision Cruise.